Yeah.
All right, thanks for joining today. We are here with Mark Roah, who is the CEO and founder of NextFan, one of our first NIL verified members. So thanks for joining today, Mark.
Thank you for having me, Michelle.
Yeah, I'm excited for this conversation because, I mean, we've known each other now, I think, for the past year and a half or so, and walking through these steps with NextFan and getting everything all launched. And you've gone through a bit of a pivot recently. So I just wanted to touch on that and talk about that new direction.
Yeah, it was a new experience creating NextFan, and there's a lot of things that we had to figure out. We launched our product last year. We had some success, but what we found that was a lot of friends and family that were doing most of the major buying, and it made us think, okay, maybe that's where we need to be, and flip the scene a little bit. Instead of having athletes selling the NIL products, it's more of, hey, what am I trying to achieve? What are the things that I need help with? More of a wish list. So it just kind of turns it around, and it's been very successful.
Yeah, so now you're working a little bit in youth sports and with musicians and a couple different demographics of audiences now, huh?
Yeah, so we've taken our platform, and it's now kind of a mashup of a GoFundMe and Cameo and Patreon, and even Shopify for merch. So what we've allowed is for youth sports teams and college athletes and high school kids that want to be college athletes to use the platform, and you can use it in a number of different ways. So for the college athlete, or even more importantly, the high school athlete who wants to be seen by college coaches, they're using the platform to help them fund these trips across the country to all these different camps and tournaments, and they are building pages and campaigns on our site where it's, hey, help me with airfare, I need help with hotel, there's some costs involved, and a lot of friends and family are more than happy to give them support. And it's important for them to know, well, what's it for? They don't want to just give you $100, but if it's something specific. And one of the key aspects or key features of our platform is that it's not just a page that says, hey, give me money. We make it really easy for the top part of the campaign. You can add a selfie video, so you can have an authentic conversation and talk to your potential donors and say, hey guys, exciting summer coming up. I'm really hoping to take that jump to the next level, and I need to be seen by college coaches, so I need a little bit of help. Scroll down to see how you can help. Just a simple way to really connect with potential donors.
Yeah, and I think that's awesome too, because it kind of empowers those young athletes to have a voice, to build their community, to, it's almost like preparing them for this NIL stage once they get to college, because they'll understand kind of, it's an exchange of value, but it's also engaging with my community. And just thinking back to, I mean, many years ago, but, my youth sports days when I would go out to all those volleyball tournaments and wanting to do all these recruiting trips, like that is expensive. And I think it is very cost prohibitive for a lot of young athletes who are trying to reach that next level.
And a lot of kids just end up not going. And so they don't get that exposure, and it's really not fair. And so with our platform, we want to help the individual that is willing to go out and try to raise money, but we want to help kids that maybe don't have the ability to do it on their own. So we are working with some large camps and large tournaments, but also put together charitable campaigns so they can say, all right, we are going to have 5 or 6 teams or 5 or 6 kids come to these camps that can't afford it. Let's help them get there. And so I think it's getting used in multiple ways for the individual, but also to help people that need it.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I think you launched now about a month ago, was it, with kind of everything new? Have you had any early successes in campaigns for some sports or athletes?
Yeah, we launched in April. We've had a number of successful campaigns, and it's surprising that when they actually promote themselves, when they post on Facebook, when they use their sharing tools to send text to their friends and family, they get responses. We've had a number of campaigns that just sit there because there's no promotion, but just a little bit of effort goes a long way. We are pretty new, so there's not a lot of activity. We're deep into conversations with a number of groups, some NIL collectives, groups that help NIL collectives. We think that we'll be able to provide some additional resources for the colleges that are looking to raise money. We're also deep into conversations with, as I mentioned before, groups that have massive tournaments and camps where kids from all over the country. So you're going to start seeing the fruits of our
Yeah.
labor come through pretty soon.
Yeah, and I think you brought up collectives, which is a really interesting space right now. It seems, I don't really have many services directly for collectives, but I definitely have a lot of conversations just from, them reaching out and talking about some of the struggles that they're seeing. And one of those being, the concern about going back to the same well every time and asking for those same donations because they have such aggressive fundraising goals, right? I mean, $500,000 all the way up to, I think, 13 million was the most I've seen. But something like this seems like it could really work well for collectives.
Well, it also helps them tap into a different source of funds. So the collectives are definitely going after the big donors and corporate sponsors to raise that money. What they're able to use with our platform is putting together fan experiences and then go and reach out to the fans of the guys that are buying that 1 or 2 ticket a year, but they still want to have that massive connection with the school and with the players. And so when they use our platform to market these fan experiences, they get the incremental $100, $200 that make a big difference. But it adds up when you're dealing with hundreds of thousands or potentially millions of fans.
Yeah. Can we talk a little bit more about, I guess the quid pro quo. So like, what are some of the different options that people like athletes, if they were to build a campaign and they have that, we talked a little bit about the FaceTime video, what are some of those other kind of benefits that they can set up, I guess, for their fundraising campaign?
So the system is really flexible, and one of the key features when someone's trying to donate money, they don't want anything in return. So they can set up wish lists, just to let them know what I'm trying to raise money. But there are the enterprising athletes that want to use the platform more aggressively. And we're working with athletes that are coming home from summer and they're getting ready to put that local camp in. So with our platform, we make it really easy to add an element where a reward, basically, where you go and say, hey, we're having a camp on June 15th to the 17th, sign up here. And it handles the whole process where they collect the money and they get the information and they can send the camp details to the person right away. So there's that. There's also virtual coaching. So let's say that someone's a pitcher on the baseball team, a kid can send a video in of their throwing motion and the athlete sees it, sends back a video and gives them instruction on, hey, I think you should do something a little bit different. And then just your standard cameo type videos where it's, wishing someone happy birthday. So there's lots of tools like that. And we have some really good examples on the site at nextfan.com.
Yeah. I think that one of the areas that I haven't seen athletes take advantage of as much anymore, or as much yet, is kind of the idea of almost like that mini press conference, like after their games. And it can work at the youth level, it can work up through high school and college. But that's a time when fans really want to, interact with their player or their athletes, and whether that's friends and family or even outside fans, to hear from them after the game and what went well and what they're looking to improve on. So I think that could be a very cool thing for them to put in place as well.
One of the features that we recently added is a monthly subscription. So there's the capability, if someone wants to say, I will subscribe for X dollar amount a month, and I will have a daily or probably a weekly or a monthly update, and here's content and maybe some behind the scenes footage. Like you said, after game, they can do a little personal video that says, hey, the game was great. I wish I would have taken that outside shot, or whatever they want to do. It just gives the fan that close access to that athlete. And they're becoming content creators, and there's some value in that too.
Yeah, and I think it's content creation as well, and kind of a safe and protected area, because it's not like just putting your voice out there to the whole entire world of Instagram and seeing what happened. It's like, no, this is for your friends and family who are subscribing to this. So potentially and I think that when you touched on earlier, the self-promotional piece of NIL and going, hey, buy my stuff, is just, I think it's not very comfortable for a lot of young adults, and even for myself, it's not very comfortable. So I think starting in that safe kind of area and understanding, your audience is super important for those young athletes coming up in this now NIL world.
Well, our goal is just to create tools to make it really easy. And if they want to promote it, we've got sharing tools on the platform. But whatever they want to create and sell, we made that super easy. So they're not pulling systems and I have to have PayPal for this and I have to have a link for that. It's just real simple. And then, like you said, they got to promote it. And the first time it's kind of hard, but once you've done it a few times and you start seeing that friends and family and fans will actually sign up and support you, it fuels you. You're like, okay, this is not so bad. Let's try this some more.
It's definitely something to overcome, though. I mean, even thinking about like all the podcast recordings and things that, I mean, I've done over the past couple of years, it still makes me cringe watching everyone. I swear I said okay things and nobody will, hate me, but it's just getting over that hump of it's okay to share your voice, to have an opinion and to put yourself out there.
And it's really important just to once in a while get out of your comfort zone. And then you realize, okay, that wasn't so bad.
Yeah, and keep pushing because it's a lot.
For sure.
Uh, I know we want to touch on a little bit of within, universities and athletic departments outside of, I mean, we all know the Power Five makes hundreds of millions of dollars and they're doing okay. But, for these smaller schools, the D2s, D3s, NAIA programs, like I think that fundraising is a big and key element of their department and their kind of strategic plan every year as well. Do you see them utilizing NextFan for some of
Yeah.
those efforts?
Yeah, 100%. We definitely are in conversations with, especially like you said, the D2 and beyond. Uh, when they make the playoffs, it's exciting, but they got to fundraise to get the teams there sometimes.
Yeah.
So we definitely think that it's a major opportunity for us and for them. And the key thing is the simplicity of what we offer. And we have a couple examples on our site that where college athletic departments are using the platform to reach out to their donors, and it's worked out.
Cool. I remember when I was coaching at University of Hawaii, we had to even, that's a Division I program. We had a pretty significant budget with all the flying we have to be back and forth, but definitely fundraising was a key issue every year. We hosted a big, what is it called? Portuguese horseshoe tournament every year where people would come out. Oh my gosh, there was like 30 plus teams. It was a great time, but a lot of organization and kind of that manual labor and planning and everything to get that together. It was a huge event. But this
Well,
makes
what's nice about systems in general, and more specifically NextFan, is that it's digital and it's easy to create, it's easy to visit, it's easy to pay, and the information you get, it comes digitally. And if you do sell merch, you can have things shipped physically. But our goal was to pull all of these different systems together and make it easy for the person who's raising money and easy for the fan to buy. Because, I mean, I know how much work it's been for us to build this platform. If someone tried to do it on their own for just one little event, it's impossible.
Yeah. What are some of the ways that these bigger organizations like the athletic departments or even some of these sports organizations who are putting together campaigns, do they have any kind of, I guess, like if somebody donates to one of these bigger organizations, are they getting access to anything, or what are some of those organizations setting up on the other side, or is it really just more donation based? That makes sense.
Really, the possibilities are endless, and
Yeah.
some of the groups are putting together tiers like the white, the blue, the green tier, and
Mhm.
depending on how much you donate, you might get more access to some more meet and greets, or maybe you get a t-shirt and a sticker, and so that's pretty standard type
Yep.
things. Uh, the ones that are being more aggressive are putting together events and getting people access to these events. But
Cool.
sometimes it's just a simple t-shirt or a hat that they want to offer.
Yeah.
But again, my goal is to create the infrastructure and to
Yep.
give these schools some guidance on what they can do. Generally, what we find is keeping it simple and keeping it unique to that organization, that team, and that community.
Yeah.
Then there's also the possibility of interacting with businesses in the community. So that school that is trying to raise money, they can put a deal together with a local business that will offer 10 or 20% off. And so when we can set it up where if someone buys on our platform, the fan immediately gets a message that says, thank you, and here's your code to go get that 20% discount at the local restaurant.
Yeah, that could be a great way to connect the corporate sponsors of the university with almost the development and the fundraising departments. I don't know if I've seen much of that kind of pulled together, but that's a good way to kind of marry the two, it seems.
What we would love to do is, if anyone's interested, just to contact us through the website. They can email me, they can call me, and just have a little brainstorming session. And generally, what we find is they've got some great ideas, they just don't know how they can get it to make it work.
Right.
And usually with 10-15 minutes, we'll say, yeah, we can do that, that, and that. We already have that ready to go. Or that's a really good idea. Let's build something for you.
Yeah. And you're totally right. I mean, they know their fans and their community better than any of us could know, and what will work. And, like you said, it's mostly intrinsically motivated to donate to support either the program, the university, the athletes, or whatnot. But some of those little kickbacks are always a nice tea as well.
One of the questions that a lot of organizations have is, well, how do I get that information? Because I have a website, I don't want to replace my website, or they have all these other organizations. And we're not trying to replace other things. We as a tool, but we also have really simple embedding technology. So if they want to add a button, or if they want to add a little area on their website that talks about what we offer, we make it really simple for them to integrate it. Keep your website, do what you need to do, but just give us a little sliver of space.
Yeah.
And the fundraising and the reward offers that we have are all easily displayed there, and any changes they make on our system automatically update there. So it's put the code there once and it's done.
Technology is amazing, huh? Awesome. Let's see. Is there anything else you wanted to kind of discuss and go over today?
Honestly, I think you covered it all. I
Yeah.
think that it's just an exciting time,
Yeah.
and we're excited to talk to as many college athletes, potential college athletes, youth sports teams, or collectives. We've got a solution for everyone, and just I think, like I said, give us 15 minutes, and we'll find a way to get your goals on board with our system.
Yeah, and I'm excited to see kind of the growth. And I think it's such a good opportunity for those youth sports athletes to really, set their goals of where they're trying to go, and to engage their community, and actually solve some of those, financial issues that are such a problem for a lot of young athletes. It's expensive. Youth sports are expensive.
People want to help, so you just got to get the word out and get something in front of them, and a good portion of them will give you the support that you need.
Yeah, awesome. Well, can you share where people can find you, NextFan, all those good stuff?
The easiest way is go to nextfan.com, and there's places there where you can reach out and contact us. At the bottom there, you can have the links to all of our socials, and so we're starting to be pretty active on all the social media platforms. So best part to start is just nextfan.com.
Awesome. Well, thanks for joining today, and great convo as always.